Hi, my name is Christina Hawley. I'm the author of Life with Bob at HealthyPlace.com. Today's topic is raising a child with mental illness. In this blog, I compare that to piloting an airplane. In this video, I'd like to talk more about that. When I get to work, the first thing I do is pre-flight. I brief the crew, check the logbook, take a look at the paperwork, including weather, flight plan, and I check all the systems. I also sign a release verifying that I am fit to fly and all the checks have been done. As a parent of a child with mental illness, I do the same thing at home. I monitor my child's moods, schedules, and levels of stress. Constantly keep in touch with a crew of doctors, therapists, teachers, family members, and counselors. The next phase of flight is taxi and takeoff. The most important safety feature on an airplane during taxi are the brakes. If I have a warning light during taxi, I'm going to stop the airplane, set the brakes, work with the co-pilot maintenance, and fix the problem. I'm not going to take off where the problem might get worse. At home, my brakes are called patience. If my son is having a meltdown, I'm going to stop and wait. I might call his therapist or work with someone else who can help me, but I'm not going to make the situation worse. Now let's talk about aborts. When I'm rolling down the runway, there are 4 situations that I'm going to abort the takeoff for: fire, engine failure, failure to fly, and wind shear. I'd rather handle these things on the ground than in the air. If my son is showing me warning signs that he is severely disabled, sometimes I have to abort. That means I can't push him if he can't make the takeoff. It's better to abort than allow him to crash and burn. Now let's talk about cruise and descent. These are not critical phases of flight. All they require is pilot monitoring and preparation for the next phase. This is kind of like stability. When my son is stable, I will be monitoring his moods and his routines and charting and preparing for the next phase of his life. Finally, landing and post-flight. The definition of a good landing is one we can walk away from. What that means is don't beat yourself up if things don't work out perfectly the way you'd hoped. Celebrate the victories. Before I leave the airplane to go to the hotel for a layover, I always do a post-flight and I turn off the battery. I don't want to come back to a dead airplane in the morning. What this means is take care of the caregiver and don't forget to recharge your batteries. My name is Christina Hawley. This is Life with Bob at HealthyPlace.com.